So you want to learn how to not suck at PvP in Star Wars The Old Republic. Well, today guys, I am here to help you in that journey. My name is Noble and welcome back to the channel. First off guys, I want to start the video by thanking you guys for letting me expand into content like Destiny 2. That will be the other game that I will be covering pretty heavily as the, continuation of the channel goes on. I know for years I've been just a Star Wars The Old Republic channel, but my interests really do extend over to Destiny, and they're kind of things that overlap with each other, particularly my love for Bungie and my love for BioWare as companies. So I would like to support Destiny as much as I can, and I really enjoy playing it. So if you haven't seen my Should You Return to Destiny in 2019 video, I will put a link to that in the description. But without further ado, let's get to the reason why you're even clicking on this video to start with. You want to get better at PvP. There are a couple things that I can show you here, and some of them are pretty freaking obvious. Tip number one, guys, is to know your class. Now, this may seem like a no-brainer, but you would be surprised how many people pick their classes because, oh, they think it looks cool. That's how you should pick your classes when you're playing an MMO. You get to, customize it and, be whatever your big badass Sith Lord or whatever. You can do whatever you want. But what I mean by that is make sure you know how to play your class. Read all of the abilities. Figure out what they go well with, what combos you can perform, like, Gore Ravage back in the day for Marauders. So yeah guys, that's pretty self-explanatory. Learn your class and you will improve just by learning and playing more games and figuring out what playstyle works best for you, which is also very important, but that kind of rolls into, learning your class. The class you might start out with might not be the class you end up maining when you've reached endgame. Second tip that I have for you guys is to always play around what your team is made up of. So if you're playing a sniper and you are pretty much, let's say you're guarding a node, that is a perfect place, for a sniper. I'm thinking specifically of Alderaan Civil War. You're in mid and you're up on the little balconies there on the catwalks, and you can snipe down and pretty much cover the entire mid area to keep people from capping it. So say your other team is a bunch of ranged or melee. Well, actually a better example, say they're melee. They're gonna kind of be fighting a little bit off the node because they have to, be within a certain range to, hit their enemies. You being a sniper can just sit back on the node or, away from the node, but with range and just lay down suppressing fire. No one is going to really touch you unless, you're doing a lot of damage, and of course you get focused and then you die right away because you're a sniper. So consider your team comp when you are playing, because you can make adjustments to your play style and you can maybe be able to do things that you wouldn't have been able to do if you weren't paying attention to what your team is running. So always be aware, are there a lot of healers? Where's your healer at? Where could you best help them? If your healer's in trouble, make sure you peel. This is already going into the next tip, and that's help your teammates. Don't get caught up in like, oh, I want to get this 1v1, or I'm just going to focus on kills. If your friend is guarding the node and he's under fire, go help them because you'll win the game. It's just like a lot of common sense things. I didn't want to go into specifics for classes because I figure, there are guides for that. I have guides for certain classes on my channel. You can go look at those if you want. This is just for people who, don't really get PvP real well and want to do well and don't want to get flamed in chat. So long as you're playing the objective, especially like in your, non-competitive play the objective, know your class, play around your teammates, and, support your team. That is the best thing you can possibly do. And guys, finally, the last tip that I have is focus on yourself. Focus on what you're doing to help your team secure victory. A lot of times I'll see this in chat where everything will be like, hey, why aren't you guys doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You guys suck. You can't hold a node. Focus on what you're doing, making sure that you are doing everything you possibly can to help your team win. Don't be a keyboard warrior in chat. Play the game, call out if needed, make those, appropriate team communications. But other than that, keep to yourself and focus on your game, because that is the most important thing that you can do to elevate your level of play. And when you get better and go into competitive, you will benefit greatly from being able to communicate with your team that way and just focusing on your gameplay, not what someone else is doing. Sure, it helps if you are comfortable enough in your class to kind of watch what other people are doing as you're fighting. I do this a lot in ranked, where like I'll be watching what other people are doing. That way, if they're under fire, I can go help them and peel for them, and it gives me a better chance of winning that match. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I will go into more detail in a different video, but guys, this is how you can improve tremendously in regular PvP. You will be going miles and miles and miles ahead of anyone else who's just trying to get medals or do dailies. You will dominate and you will win more than you will lose. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to slap a like on the video, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm as I'm changing the content around between Destiny and Star Wars: The Old Republic. It helps a like. Comment below what PvP tips and things you want me to cover in previous or new Star Wars: The Old Republic videos that are coming. Maybe I missed some things in my earlier videos about this, but let me know in the comments what you guys like to do in PvP, what your favorite warzone is, and what you want to see from me in the future, either Destiny 2 related or Star Wars: The Old Republic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Later!